Hey there, have you ever had this amazing idea for an app or a website just pop into your head, but then you get stuck, right? Like, how do you actually show someone what it looks like? Well, today we're going to talk about a tool that's completely changing the game for everyone, Figma. It's making the whole world of design way more accessible, and we're going to dive into exactly how.
You know the old way of doing things right? It was a total nightmare. You're drowning in a folder of files called final design underscore v2, then final design underscore v3 underscore for real, and oh yeah, final, I swear. It was just a mess of email attachments and waiting around for days to get feedback. But what if all that chaos could just go away? Well, that's exactly the promise of Figma. One place to replace all that clutter. So how can just one tool fix all those old headaches? Well, let's start at the beginning. We've got to ask the big question. What is Figma, really? And why is this whole designing in the cloud thing such a big deal? Okay, here's the magic word. Cloud-based. Now that might sound a little techy, but all it really means is that your design isn't just a file sitting on one person's computer anymore. Instead, it becomes this living, breathing space online where your whole team can jump in and work at the exact same time. And trust me, that one little shift changes absolutely everything. You know, if you need a super simple way to get it, here it is. Figma is basically Google Docs, but for design. You know that feeling when you're in a doc and you can see your coworkers' little cursors moving around, typing and adding comments all at once? Figma brought that same real-time magic to a visual canvas. It's really that simple and that powerful. All right, enough with the theory. Let's actually get our hands dirty. How do you even start with this thing? We're going to walk through your very first steps from making an account to just finding your way around the interface. And you're going to see just how easy it is to pick up. Getting started is honestly as easy as 1, 2, 3. You just go to the website, sign up with your email, and you're in. And you know, here's the best part. Figma has this incredibly generous free version that gives you all the core features. This is a huge deal because it means anyone, anywhere can start learning and creating cool stuff without paying a dime. So once you're in, it might look a little intimidating at first, but it's really just broken down into 4 main zones. I like to think of it like a workshop, you know? You've got your toolbar at the top, those are your tools. On the left, you've got your layers, all your different pieces and parts. On the right, you've got your fine-tuning controls. And right in the middle, that's your canvas, your playground. Everything has its place. And now we get to the really fun part. This is where a totally blank canvas starts to turn into something that actually looks and feels like a real product. We're going to see how you take a simple, static idea and actually make it interactive. So, every great design starts with these basic building blocks. First, you add a frame. Just think of that as your screen, like for a phone or a website. Then, you start adding in the basics, some shapes, some text, and finally, you make it look good. You add your colors, maybe some shadows and effects, and that's it. You're literally designing. But this is where Figma feels like actual magic. You can take those static pictures and turn them into a clickable interactive prototype. You just flip over to the prototype tab and you start drawing these little connections between your screens. And all of a sudden, that button you designed can actually take you to the next page. You're not just showing someone a design anymore. You're letting them feel the real experience. And look, this isn't just some cool party trick. For professional UI/UX designers, this feature is considered absolutely invaluable. Being able to simulate how a person actually moves through your app lets you catch problems and test your ideas long before anyone writes a single line of code. It saves so much time and so many headaches. So if prototyping is Figma's magic trick, then collaboration, well, that's its undisputed superpower. This is the one feature that truly sets it apart from everything else, and it's the reason so many teams have made the switch. It all boils down to this number right here. 1. One file, one location, one single source of truth. See, when everybody's working in the exact same place, all that confusion about which version is the latest, it just disappears. You are always looking at the most up-to-date design, period. And collaborating is so cool. You can literally see your teammates' cursors moving around the canvas, making changes in real time. It feels like you're all standing in the same room, pointing at the same whiteboard. And you can drop comments right on top of any design element to give super specific feedback. The whole workflow just becomes faster and so much clearer. Okay, so you've got the basics down. You can design, you can prototype, you can collaborate. So what's next? What takes you from being a beginner to a pro? Well, it's all about learning to work smarter, not just harder. So if you want to get really fast and efficient in Figma, you're going to want to master these 3 things. Components are just reusable bits, like buttons, that keep everything consistent. Styles let you save your color and text settings so you can use them over and over. And plugins are like little apps for Figma that add all sorts of new, powerful features. Put them all together, and they will totally supercharge your workflow.
You know that heart-stopping moment when you realize you accidentally deleted something really important, or you took a design in a totally wrong direction? Well, Figma gives you total peace of mind with its automatic version history. Every little change is saved, so you can literally rewind time if you mess up. It's the ultimate safety net for your creativity. So how do you keep getting better? Well, here are 3 quick tips for success. First, start learning the keyboard shortcuts. They will make you so much faster. Second, go explore the Figma community. It's an absolute treasure trove of free files and inspiration. And finally, just keep practicing. Like any other skill, the more you do it, the better you're going to get. When you step back and look at the big picture, this is what it's all about. By being in the cloud, being collaborative, and having an amazing free version, Figma has just torn down the old barriers. It's democratized design. It's put professional-level tools in the hands of everybody, whether you're an absolute beginner or a seasoned pro.
So, there you have it. You've got the foundation. You know the what, the why, and the how of Figma. So all that's left is the really big question. Your blank canvas is waiting. What will you create first?